What's going on, Los Santos? In this video I'm going to show you how to speedrun the Cayo Perico Heist with two people, and you're going to try to get this done in under 50 minutes. So I'm going to go step by step, give you commentary on how to do this. First thing you're going to do is invite your friend to an MC, have them come to the sub itself. Then you're going to go to gather intel. And the first step here is going over to fast travel the sub as close to the Venus or the plane as you possibly can, so you can try to land right on it. So the first thing I'm going to do here after starting the mission, I'm going to go to fast travel. I'm going to find out where the dot is. It's in Chumash pretty much this time, or pretty close to that in Lago Zancudo. So we're going to fast travel over there, let the sub do its thing. And basically what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to try to land as close to the plane, if not on top of the plane, as possible. So my teammate here, Bud, he's already going to be running over towards the Sparrow. We're going to take the Sparrow here to try to basically get there as quickly as possible. So the sub loads in right here, and we're going to he's already waiting back at the Sparrow itself, which is good. And I'm going to be giving you tips along the way here about, like, you know, little details and tips and stuff like that. So he's already waiting by the Sparrow, which is nice. Now if you're piloting the Sparrow, make sure you turn the right stick to the right, wait till that door closes of the Sparrow so you don't take off too early, because if you take off too early and hit R2 too early, your teammate won't be in the Sparrow with you. So we get that little animation there. Now we're gonna just pretty much sprint this Sparrow as much as possible over to the dot. We're gonna gain a little bit of altitude. Sometimes you don't need to necessarily gain altitude, especially in a single run. If it's kind of a straight shot, it just depends on where the Venus is, where the plane is. This one's kind of a little bit over the top, but this works really well too, because you pretty much can dive straight down to the plane. You don't have to worry about landing the Sparrow, anything like that. And like, landing the Sparrow isn't exactly super easy every single time too. It kind of can crash and burn. You just kind of give yourself more chances. So I wait for him to jump out first. Always wait for him to jump out first, and then I jump in, and then we're gonna try to land almost on the wing of the plane. You can only board this plane from the back side, especially as the pilot. You're gonna have to run all the way around the wing if you go a different way. So I try to land on the back side of the wing like this, and then you got that little animation of him taking off the parachute, and then we're going to try to hop inside as much as possible. He's going to clear out a little bit because it does take a little bit of time to start up the engine and get things moving. So I'm going to try to get the plane into position as much as possible. And then once he's in there, you know, we don't have to kill necessarily everyone, because they're not going to give too much resistance. The key here with the plane is actually getting altitude. I should have got the wheels in a little bit quicker, but you want to gain altitude in this plane quickly because it doesn't go very fast. And you're going to see, even in this run, I almost hit into the side of the mountain. So if you want to, you know, if you're just like looking for a good way to do this and not necessarily the speed run, just make sure you get some altitude. This was really cutting it close, but you can easily go into the side of the mountain like I almost did there if you don't get enough altitude. So just take time to get some altitude. You're going to want to get some altitude so you don't wreck the plane, because if you wreck the plane, the run's pretty much over, or you're going to have to start over. But got just enough altitude that time to get things going. Now, the plane itself, you might be able to pick up a little bit of time by making the plane kind of go at a downwards angle, because if you go at a downwards angle, the plane goes a little bit faster. But really what you want to do is just get there as quick as possible. I mean, you might be able to cut off some time here and there. There's also going to be different locations. Sometimes you start out in like Paleto Bay, which is a lot further than this. This is actually kind of a rare spawn for this. It doesn't often go where it went on this time, but pretty much at this point, I just try to head for the yellow dot as much as possible. Try to take a straight path as much as possible. If you do land in Paleto Bay, though, that's another place you're going to have to get altitude and go around the side of the mountain instead of going over the top, just because this plane takes so long to gain altitude. I wish this plane was faster. There's not much that you can do here, except for just try to get to the dot as quickly as possible with the straight line. as quick as possible. So that's what we're doing here. I'm just cruising along, enjoying the look. I love GTA for it. Look how beautiful it just looks. It's just so much stuff going on. This is one of the more beautiful shots in gaming, just over the top of the city of Los Santos. Cruising along here. Now there is a glitch where you can get into this yellow dot and it doesn't trigger the mission. So I'm always it happened after a kind of a recent patch, so I'm always kind of nervous about this. I used to go a lot lower. Now I kind of try to go high and see how it has that the arrow pointing down, you know, on the yellow dot. That means you need to get lower to hit the dot. But I find it if I have a little bit more you know, altitude, then I'm able to get it to the trigger without it going. And once I hear like this click noise of it starting the mission, I let go of R2. So I let go of R2 there to hopefully get it. Now I'm going to show you basically the best route with the bike. Now we take 2 bikes. One of the biggest things I think in doing one of these runs is you always want to make sure you have someone backing up the other person. So I had the PS5 and Bud has the PS4, so I load in a little bit faster on the PS5 just on like the cutscenes and like once the mission starts. So I'm going to sprint to the front bike. Bud's going to sprint to the other bike. But you always want to back your partner or your teammate up, because if something goes wrong, you want that next person to be like right in position to do what they need to do. So the first thing, I get out of the bike. I already got out of the plane. I sprint to the bike. I sprint. I'm tapping R2. I use alternate FPS too. That's the controls I use. I'm gonna go around the fence right here, and then I'm gonna go straight. And I tried to pretty much avoid these trees. Take this path. Pause if you need to. And then you can go left before those trees there. I just kind of kept it straight. And then what's key here is you want to go right along the edge of the sand. That water's not going to mess with you too much right there. You can go up to this like cliff type of thing right here and then take a left. And now you're going to be able to pretty much straight shot it over this rock. Pull back on the left stick to get that altitude. Go over these as well. There's not really a great place to land in there. You can't really go too hard off of that one, in my opinion. Then just try to get down to the edge of the water as much as you can. You're gonna go straight over this rock too. This bike can pretty much jump over anything if you have enough speed. Pull back up on the left stick there and then start heading a little bit to the left so you avoid that tower guard. Now here you could either YOLO it over that rock, but it's kind of risky because you really don't know where these 2 caravans are going to be. You kind of have to wait here a little bit, and once that second caravan passes, you can go right behind it and you can sneak behind this camera. This looks like there's a lot of brush right here, but it's actually pretty easy to get through that spot right there. And then you can just cruise onto the tower, and you get to the tower really fast. You don't have to do any of the sprinting or the running. I do a little bit of a jump there for fun, but be careful doing that jump there. If you go too far to the right on that jump, you can definitely like run into some stuff and get knocked over. And now I usually just get off of the bike right here behind that railing instead of going around it. Then you go to the bottom rungs here, and now you always want to check all the way around on the bottom. There's 3 different spots that this box can be in, so you always want to check for that. Now the math on this, so it's 55. The X on the right side means the number on the left is going to go up by 10. The box with the 1 line through it means it's going to go up, it's going to be exactly what it is. And then the bottom one is ×2. So you got to kind of do some math in your head to figure out which one it's going to be. But this one you should be able to get pretty much every single time by doing that. So we got the connection successful. Now if you're truly speed running it, you only want to search the basement pretty much. In this one, we're gonna search everything in case we mess up the run. At least we're gonna have all the loot at the end, but you definitely could speed up some time here. So I'm gonna hit right on the D-pad. He's gonna hit left on the D-pad to scope from the other direction. So on this one too, this is a bad one too, because bare bonds you have to scope all the way to the left to actually find the item. So that takes a little while. Basement storage too. I mean, I'm just scoping this just because in case we mess up the run, at least we're gonna have a lot of stuff. Those are the 3 spots it can be. In office cam, you only need to scan over to this picture. If it's not there, then you move on. And the same with this one, there is a picture this time, so that's actually one of the best spots to have loot, especially in a solo run. West storage, grab that real quick. I'm gonna grab the cash real quick, and then north storage, I'm gonna be scoping over to this side and this side too, and north camp 2, I'm gonna scan over there. You can see in the bottom left, Bud scope the other one. Once I see that I don't get an arrow, that's usually when I just hit O and back out. Now he already got himself caught by the guards earlier. This is what I usually like to do at this point, is I just go up. I instead of getting caught by the guards myself, I just find this is faster for me, especially if the box was up on like the 2nd level or the 3rd level. You know, it helps a lot too. But I just jump off the edge right here, and I eliminate myself so that I get put right back where the plane is. I don't have to go back. The plane's gonna be like right behind you, so right as you load back in, just turn back around, go over to the plane, hit right on the D-pad, and return to Los Santos. And pretty much at this point, you gotta wait for this little bit of a cutscene here for it to go back to Los Santos. And what's interesting too is when you fly in with the plane in that cutscene, it basically loads up the skin of whatever your tank looks like, or whatever your sub looks like. And then on the way back, it changes to red. So there's a couple of like visual things that don't always make sense. Anyways, you land back in with the plane here, and here's pretty much the steps that you want to take from here. So what I do here is I bring up the touchpad. I don't know if you can see that. I bring up the touchpad. Okay, there it is. I bring up the touchpad. I go to the Kotaska, and then I return it to storage. And then I run out here. And I run past this first marker, and then I call in on the motorcycle club, the MK2. It should normally put it like right next to me once I go out here. This is kind of a really random spawn for it to be that far, but normally if you do what I just did, it'll pop like right next to you. For some reason it popped all the way out here. It just happens sometimes, but normally once you get to that gate, it's gonna pop in like right next to you to get the MK2. And then you're gonna cruise over. I cruise over to my yacht in this situation, and I'm gonna start calling in the Kotaska itself. Now we're working on another run where I'm just gonna take the Sparrow and go straight to the Kotaska and call it in so he can get the mission. Basically what my teammate Bud is doing now in this position, he's heading over to the city to get ready to do what he needs to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to land the MK2 right into the hot tub. It can kind of hold it. It just kind of can chill in the hot tub and it'll be all right. So I'm going to hop up out of here. I'm going to start heading towards my boat. I called in the Kotaska, so I'm waiting for it to spawn in. It takes about 10 seconds for the Kotaska to spawn in. I like to hop in the speedboat over the plane just because you can, or over the helicopter on the yacht, because you can actually die in the helicopter on the yacht. I'm really going slow at this point. I didn't even see the Kotaska spawn in because it was with all those icons. So I actually kind of messed up there. Just like looking at this review, or looking at this run of the review, there's going to be some things I still could have done better. That's just kind of like, it's a long run, and there's always things that you can improve on. But I like to head right to here, trying to get it to the side so I don't have to swim at all as much as possible, and go over, hit right on the D-pad, enter the Kotaska. So that one actually took a lot longer than I thought it should have. I mean, I definitely could have gone faster. There's ways that you could head straight there and then start the mission for your friend as quickly as possible. That's what we're going to be doing more on our runs here, but that's pretty much how I'm going to set things up to start off. So the first thing I always go kind of top to bottom. I told him it's going to be casino because we got bearer bond, so he's going to be like already at the casino to start that off. So what I'm going to do now is instead of exiting the Kotaska, I'm going to get the sub in position so that when I take things back to it, I can land really, really quickly with my MK2 in that hot tub and kind of jump over. So this thing's kind of tough to move. I've also got really bad yacht position. The yacht can be in 3 different spots based on, it's in Vespucci Beach, but it can be in 3 different spots in Vespucci Beach. You can't fast travel it to another spot once you're already in Vespucci Beach, but this is actually a really, really bad spot for the yacht. You normally can get it about like I don't know, 0.4, 0.5 of a mile, maybe even 0.3 of a mile closer than where it is right here. But the sub, it doesn't move fast, but once the engine gets going, it's kind of like a bigger truck or something. Like once it gets going, it goes pretty fast. So I'm gonna move it backwards here. This is just such an awkward position. Normally you can just go straight to where the yacht is, but since the yacht's in such a weird spot, I'm going back. And meanwhile, this whole time, Bud's over at the casino right now, going to find that guy with the cowboy hat to get the bearer bonds code so that we can crack this. We can, like, you know, do what we need to do once we get to the island. So I go first person here a little bit. Sometimes I don't, but I'm trying to get the sub as close as possible to the actual hot tub itself. So at this point, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to always go to this ladder over here. I always go to this ladder right here instead of going forward. I just think this one's faster to get to. And it basically opens that front door instead of that second hatch. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk. You want to walk off of that thing, and then you want to board it right up there. That's the best way. Don't try to swim or anything like that. I should have hopped up there on the side of the staircase too. I just forgot that time. We're gonna hop onto the bike itself, and then we're gonna go. And basically what I'm doing here is he's working on the casino. I really wish I could have got him the mission fast. That's something we're gonna fix in the future. You can hold R1 and R2 to basically go as fast as possible on the MK2 as possible. What I'm doing here is since he only has to lose the cost of the bank code, I'm just going for backup. If there's some reason like he's having trouble getting the bank codes, I want to start the safe codes. I would just want to be getting here as quick as possible to try to do any kind of a backup. If I don't get there in time, he's still gonna have to lose the cops, but I want to make sure I can go provide backup or go show him exactly where it is. So I'm just cruising the casino as fast as I possibly can, just trying to monitor on whether or not he's got the safe codes or not. So I'm cruising. I'm watching that bottom mission there where it says go to casino, and then all of a sudden I'm pretty sure pretty soon here he just gets the safe codes themselves. So I'm just cruising. See, I can see in the bottom left it says that he collected the safe code. At that point in time, he doesn't have to, I don't have to deliver anything back, and so he's just gonna go out and lose the cops. So what I'm gonna do in this situation is I'm gonna head all the way back to the sub so I can start the next mission. So I technically could start there, but like I said, it's important, especially if you know if you're new into this, to just back up your teammate as much as possible, like he did on the bike. In case something goes wrong, you want to be there. It just helps to do that as much as possible if you can. You know, some of the missions are easier than others, but this one, the casino, can sometimes be a little bit tricky. So once he's got to that point, again, I'm just gonna head back to the Kotaska and see if I can bring, it might be a little dark on the left stick there. I just kind of in the zone here, so I'm cruising back. The lower you cruise in this thing, the faster you're gonna go. But if you want to cruise like mid-tier, again, you can just hold R1 and R2. There's two wings on the back of the MK2, and they've got to be like they are now. You don't see how they pop out like that. When they pop out, you only go about like 110. So I'm gonna hop in this thing, and what I do here is I hop out, and then I hop out on this flagpole, and then I run up to the top of the flagpole, and then I can jump over pretty easily to the Kotaska. Just so many runs of doing this to find out, hey, I can hop up this flagpole and jump like all the way there, Mario style with the flagpole. So I'm gonna load back in. He's still gotta lose the cops. There's a weird glitch that happened right here, like where I got popped back out to the back of the sub. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. There's just random glitches that happen sometimes still in this game. I have no idea what happened there, to be honest with you, but it popped me back out of the back. So basically at this point, I'm like, I gotta think in my head, like, where am I on the sub? I gotta try to run fast as possible. That's why I like took a wrong turn there. I'm trying to think like, what the heck happened? I take a left and go back up these stairs, and then I'm gonna run past the Sparrow. So that we definitely could have picked up some time here. There's stuff like that happens from time to time that you got to take care of. So I'm gonna run over to the board itself again, and I'm gonna start up the next mission here. And I'm just in review. It's like there's so much time that I could have saved. So next thing is the fingerprint cloner, so we're gonna do that. He's gonna start heading to the warehouse. I'm gonna hop up the ladder here, and he's gonna go to the warehouse. He's gonna eliminate the 4 enemies in the warehouse, do the hack for Panthers. That's going to be able to give us the fingerprint scanner. Now here's a jump up. Did I do it? So you can jump even closer than that, but you want to jump up those stairs so you don't have to run up the entire stairs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head to town while he's doing that. You can see him over in the bottom left mini map. I'm going to head to town and try to kind of get in the middle, because it can be in 3 different spots. It can either be kind of over in Vespucci by the beach, almost by the Ferris wheel and stuff. It can be at this one, I think the one that it's going to be, it's like almost on like the side of a building or something like that. I think these are like technically in the basement of like a vehicle warehouse is where they technically are. Or they can be like, there's like this under the highway one, which actually is my least favorite one probably to go to, because there's like a couch and there's like a lot of like NPC players around it. So it kind of takes a little bit to get to. But I'm pretty much just chilling in the middle of the city at this point, just waiting to see where it's going to give us a spawn. So he's gonna take care of all that. I'm basically chilling. I'm kind of like, I think in this run in particular, I was looking to see if I can find where that spot is, like under the bridge, under the underpass, to see if I could like just locate that for future reference for myself. So I was looking at a couple of spots here. I'm just kind of waiting and chilling, and then eventually here he's going to be able to get that done. It's not a very difficult mission. So I'm waiting here, kind of looking around. I think I flew up to the top of this. So he's found it. I'm like 0.73 miles away. I'm not far. Gonna head straight for the dot. It's gonna be that one off the side of the wall this time. So I'm gonna go over this highway overpass, and I'm gonna start to lower myself down. And I think this time I almost always shoot at these cameras. This is the first time I've ever gotten seen by these cameras ever, in like hundreds and hundreds of runs. I think this might have been the first time, but I didn't need to take out these cameras because I already got seen anyways. You're gonna pop out. Always run in this direction too, because there's only like a couple spots this scanner can be. It's always gonna be in this back level of the computers, so you're gonna run past that first station. It's either gonna be over back to the right where I kind of checked first, or it's gonna be right around the corner, right there. And you can kind of see it on the table. The more runs you do, you're gonna be able to see it before that yellow arrow even pops up to indicate where it is. You can't double click R2 in this spot either to go faster, so I recommend just holding R2 in that spot. You don't have to click R2. I'm gonna head out here. Excuse me. I'm gonna head out here, get on the bike, start boogieing it back. Those enemies aren't even gonna really mess with you. We'll go through those some good flying or driving there. And then again, it's really, really important to hold R2 and R1 during this point in time. You're gonna go a lot faster on the MK2 doing that than just holding R2. So when you hold R1, it keeps those back wings retracted, which is really, really important. Basically makes it seem so you're flying in the air. Or when you're flying in the air, it's kind of like you're flying on the ground, because what R1 does is it lowers the MK2, but you can kind of just keep it afloat up in the air. So if there's one tip you take from this, when you're flying your MK2, make sure that, the MK2 oppressor, make sure that you hold the R1. So we're gonna cruise over here as much as possible. Look, this is how I do the landing. I like to hold L2 when I get here, stop the thing, try to stop on a dime, pop it right in there, and then again just hop up on the flagpole. Sometimes I miss the flagpole, and that's okay if you do that, but if you can get the flagpole, that's like the best way to hop back in, and that should be a really fast way to land. So we gotta wait for the loading screen here, and we got the heist prep complete. So I'm gonna head back over to the board. We got construction now. Hit R1, go over the equipment, go to the cutting torch, which is the construction mission. He's gonna head over to the construction site. There's 3 different construction sites. A lot of stuff in this game is like there's 3 different spots of the mission. It seems to be like kind of a common theme. So for construction, there's 3 different spots. There's a really big building, there's kind of a mid-tier building, and then there's like a house development that's getting going. So I'm gonna hop out here, get onto my MK2. He's taking care of business at the construction site. I'm gonna cruise over as fast as possible for backup, and also once he finds the cutting torch, he can always drop the cutting torch off to me by basically eliminating himself, so he drops it and then I can take it back to start at the next mission as quick as possible. So we're gonna cruise here, and again, this is a really bad yacht position. Like, I would have been so much deeper with a better yacht position, but it is what it is. We are just kind of like running some runs trying to go fast. So I gotta dissect where he is. This is the mid-tier construction section. He's looking for the cutter. He found the cutter, so I know at this point I'm gonna rotate back to him because I already know that he's gonna eliminate himself. So he eliminates himself, drops the cutter. I'm gonna pick it up. It's because what he likes to do, or what he's got to do in this situation actually, is he's got to head to Merryweather, and he's got to head to Merryweather like their base, kind of by the airport. Because if we get the Merryweather helicopter mission, you never want to do that ever. You have your teammate go to the Merryweather place with the helicopter, and you're gonna want to destroy the helicopter immediately. You don't want to do that mission whatsoever. That mission has the helicopter go really slow. There's a couple ways that, I mean, if you're doing a single solo run, you can kind of hop on your MK2, go over there and eliminate it. You can use the missiles from the Kotaska itself and go and eliminate it, but you never ever want to do that mission. That mission takes forever, and it's not fun either. You gotta sit behind the helicopters. It goes like all the way across the map, and it goes way too slow. Nobody wants to do that. You want to go to the office buildings to get the weapons for for the run. So again, after he drops that torch off, he's heading straight over there as I head back. So we're maximizing our time spent by me going back with it. And plus, because I got to go back here to start the mission anyways. So we're gonna go over to weapon loadouts. Always choose the crack shot too. And you'll see when we're on the island, you always want to choose crack shot. So we actually rolled 707 Vespucci, which is one of the office buildings, and it's honestly one of the better office buildings because like Schlongsberg is actually a really tall building. Vespucci is actually a shorter building in height. That's where you want to jump up on the side there too, to go and get the MK2. Like that's textbook right there. So you don't go all the way up the stairs and you just hop back on it. So I'm gonna start. You can see those big buildings in the middle of the city. That's where I'm gonna be heading here as much as possible. Since he didn't get Merryweather, we didn't have that over there. He's coming over from that angle over by the airport, and we're just gonna cruise as fast as we possibly can. I'm staying low to the ground right here, and then I'm gonna go up and get over the top of that, still holding R1 and R2 as we cruise over to Vespucci. I think it might be that kind of orangish looking building right in front of me. I'm not 100% sure. He's cruising up there too. No, it's not. It's this one. It's this black building right here with the windows I'm pulling up on. You're gonna go land always to the top. always land at the top on this one. That's really important. We're gonna go inside here. I was able to get there first because he was over at Merryweather, so I was a little bit closer. But he's gonna come for some backup. It's just important to go to backup. I go to the MK2 SMG actually here with the silencer. Sometimes if I were to go like real slow, you can actually take out all these guys for the most part without them ever even noticing. But I'm gonna pop through these guys as much as possible. He's popping through those guys. There's one more guy in the door over there that I usually take out just for the heck of it, but lots of times he doesn't really get in the way, but why not take him out? You can kind of shoot to that door as well over there, and it'll open up the door and he'll be right there. So you go to the gun locker first, because you gotta see that the gun locker's locked before you can hack it. And then once you hack it, you know, I'm looking for 92, 29, 56 as much as possible. I kind of started the top, and then once I see that 92 and the 29, like I know I'm pretty much golden. Sometimes like you can even be like all three and have the last one messed up, but it's pretty rare. It's usually the first two together. It's gonna be it. Now you want to go over to the gun locker and hit the right on the D-pad. Now I kind of take a step back a little bit and kind of slowly move up to the guns, because there's a lot of times if you don't step back or if you like run up too much on it, it like does that thing where you're too close to hit the right D-pad. Right here is really important to hit left D-pad, hit left D-pad, hit left D-pad, so you go back up to the top of the roof and get your MK2. If you hit right D-pad there, it's going to send you to the bottom, and there's a ton of enemies, and most likely you're probably going to die because they put about 5 or 6 enemies right there, and it's tough to combat like 5 or 6 enemies with no cover. Most of the time you're just going to get shot and die. So definitely go top. That's where your bike is and everything like that. And then you're just going to hop back, head all the way back to the sub as quickly as possible here. And the helicopters behind you, they really can't really hang with this. They don't do too much damage of anything too. And again, I'd already be back at the yacht, most likely if I had better yacht position. It's just one of those things. We just were doing a run in a session where my yacht just decided to be in this spot. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna land right into the hot tub. Again, that's right. Once I found out I can land in the hot tub, it's been like a lot better. I think I missed the flagpole here, but that's okay. You just roll forward, don't hit R2 or anything, and so you don't hit X to swim down below. Again, I use alternate FPS too, so your controls might be a little bit different, but just move the left stick in that situation. You don't want to be diving under the water. You just want to keep your head above water, walk over, climb up on the sub. So the last thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna hit right, or we're gonna go and get the sonar. I always do this last because I gotta fast travel the sub again. So he's already headed up to where this could be, because lots of times, you know, if he can get there with the MK2, and it's going to be random, it's either going to be on the right or the left, or it goes to different spots. But if he can get there with his MK2, he can start taking out. There's three like patrol boats, like 3 dinghies, and then 1 helicopter. And once you take out those 3 and the 1 helicopter, like they're pretty much there's not going to be like backups coming in. But you can mitigate the backups coming in by driving the sub over to where the other sub is to pick up the sonar. So at this point, I'm gonna drive the sub over to this spot. This saves you a lot of trouble once you get the sonar itself. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna start going towards the yellow dot. I'm trying to think of where I think he might have been. I don't know how far he was in this situation. But if he's too far, like there's probably like 8 times out of 10, even 9 times out of 10, he's gonna be right there with the MK2 to take out this stuff. If that doesn't happen, what you can do is you get the missiles on the Kotaska itself and just kind of cruise up, and eventually, you know, once you'll get a feel for the distance, like right here, and you just start spamming, it'll lock on, and you're able to knock out all 3 of these. I highly suggest too, especially in a solo run, you have to do this without that being, you know, without your friend being able to take them out. But in a solo run, take all these out with the missiles from the sub, then pop out the front and get the explosive sniper. Get the explosive ammo on the sniper. It takes a little while to get, but it's real important. You can shoot down the helicopter with like 2 shots. Once I see that question mark, we kind of missed that. There's a question mark on the yellow. Just rewind it. Once I see the question mark disappear, that's when I know to stop the sub, because that's going to put us in a good spot where it's going to be we're going to be able to go get the sonar and then hop back up or swim back up and kind of be at the front part of the sub. So I don't know, I think he must have got there to take out the helicopter, because I'm like looking around for the helicopter and it was already gone. So I was like, all right, that's okay, I guess it's already gone, and I'm gonna hop down at this point. He must have eliminated the helicopters, basically what happened while I was kind of like getting out of the drive mode and stuff like that. And he's already actually at the sub itself. So when you get to this part of it, Bud always goes left, I always go right. We just like know that going in, because the first place you want to check is that left tunnel to see if it's on the planning board. Eliminate that guy, eliminate this guy, and then there's actually a body armor in this Merryweather thing right here if you need the body armor. I usually bust it open and get that, but I think I had full health, so I'm gonna go after this guy. And then there's the jammer right there, so I'm gonna grab that. Some kind of steam or something hits me. There's like little things that can like pop open with steam. I just checked over there to make sure I wasn't getting hit by someone, but memorizing where all these guys are is like really important. If had I not had the jammer there, or had it not been on the table where he was checking, you're gonna kind of want to go around excuse me, and get familiar with where that spot is. I go through that bottom door at that point and kind of look towards the back, because if it's the deep spot for the sonar jammer, especially if you don't know where you're going, it can be a real pain. But just keep practicing and practicing. Eventually you're going to find all three spots. Eventually you're going to find a route that works for you to get there, to be able to do that. So this is the last step before the actual heist. We're going to go ahead and hop over into the Kotaska itself. And I always do enter alone too. I let my teammate always like enter at their own pace if they want to enter. All right, so now it's complete, and here's how we're going to set up the board. We're gonna hit accept. You can't do anything here, so you just go right over to the right and hit hard mode accept or whatever. I should have bought the armor. I don't know why I didn't buy armor, but you don't really need it at the end. I'm gonna show you the fastest route to finish this, especially for single. But I'll show you the fastest route. Let me explain how we set up this stuff here as well. So a pro's vehicle is always going to be Kotaska. Drainage tunnel, just go look up a video on YouTube. You need the drainage tunnel. That's something you need before you even do any of this. Go get that drainage tunnel scoped out. I'm going so fast here I can't even talk, but you can use a lot of like down on the menu and up on the menu. Make sure you get the suppressors too. You don't have to buy them until now. Just double click on the suppressors. And I went through that board so incredibly fast. Oh man. But that's how you're gonna want to set it up. Just watch my button clicks over again if you want to see how to set that board up really fast. Like that's how you want to set the board up. That was going so fast I can't even live commentate over it. That was crazy. Then we're both gonna hit play, and then we're gonna go in with the sub here, and we're just gonna sprint as fast as possible, or swim as fast as possible to the edge of the cutting tunnel. So again, you want to go scope out the drainage tunnel. This is like basically like the security tunnel or the sewers for the Diamond Casino heist. It's imperative. It's imperative that you go in this way. Even if you did something where you had another entry point for some reason, like you need this entry point because it's by far the best. So it's something that you're gonna want to have, and it basically is why you go get the cutting torch in the construction mission from earlier, just so you can cut through this gate and hop in. It's not like some of the other stuff where you actually have to swim like a really long way. You don't have to swim a long way at all. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this here. I'm spamming right on the D-pad to start cutting as quickly as possible. Your teammate can't get in the way either, so they won't be in the way of your field of vision. I usually go one spot at a time, but there's a variety of ways you can do this. I know my teammate likes to kind of go up and down, left to right on the side of it. You can kind of paint a little bit. I find just going individual as best as possible. I choked a little bit on this one, but it's gonna happen when you're on like a fast run. Just like, oh, so I painted a little bit there. You can go on like the edges. There's a lot of different ways to do that part. And my bad, I've been talking for like 40 minutes straight here. So we're gonna go straight up the tunnel here. Gonna go there. Definitely spam right on the D-pad here because it takes a little bit for it to load up. Now I want you to pay attention to my route. Bud's basically going to be handling, he's gonna go through the side of the gate, and I mean there's a lot more details here, but he's gonna be handling the the getting of the actual item, but watching this route is key that I take here. The reason we went crack shot is to get the automatic pistol. You're gonna go straight up these stairs right here, get the pistol as quick as possible, go around here, make a left right here, all running like this. They won't see you. Then you pop up over this, keep running. You go up, pop that guy. Always reload the clip after each one, because you want to have that full clip in case something badly happens. So I got the gate key so you can pop in the gate down below. I'm running. This guy can be a little bit tricky. You just want to go up there and rush him as much as possible and just keep shooting that full clip. You need that full clip so he doesn't make any noise. Now the first thing you want to do is go over to the wall safe, because getting the key card is it's not like super tricky, but you want to go over to the wall safe first and then get the key card from the back of the desk. I find it's like a better kind of route. We got a painting up here, so I'm gonna grab this painting. Painting in the office is like your best friend in a solo run too. That's like the legit what you're looking for, because all you can really grab is the top painting and then whatever in the actual thing itself, because you can't get 2 key cards. So I'm gonna grab that painting. Meanwhile, he's down. He used the gate keys. He's getting the actual thing. I'm gonna hop down these stairs because it goes faster than like walking down the stairs, in my opinion. So I'll hop down the stairs as much as possible. Now I'm gonna book it to the left, and I'm gonna go try to get this guy that's so he wasn't walking under me. You can see him over on the left side of the screen. Lots of times he's walking over in this area. That's the first guy I'm gonna check for the key card. Now I just kind of gotta wait here, and like sometimes waiting a little bit is actually gonna make you go faster. I'm gonna go underneath here. I know exactly where all their routes are gonna be, so I know he's gonna take a route to the left. I'm gonna shoot him as much as possible. Full clip. You gotta have it. I get the key card there, so I don't need to do anything else as far as that's concerned. I'm gonna shoot out of this camera. Don't need to do it, but I did it anyway. Now I'm gonna try to rendezvous with him, keeping an eye on my surroundings. I got that guy to the right that's pacing back and forth, so he's gonna go over to that side. With this, you can really go to any decision. Where we kind of start off that spot with the key cards, we almost never go to, because it's such a pain to get all the way back there. It just takes a lot of time. It's really not even that we can't get there, it's just a very time consuming thing. So in this situation, I'm gonna go over here and I'm just gonna put the key card in, and I'm gonna let him get the gold. I'm gonna kind of make a decision here. I wanted to go see what we got in the other side over here, and if it was good enough, you know, pretty much let him get his full bag of gold. I was gonna pretty much pick up the gold because I already got that painting from upstairs. But you always want to get gold. Gold is by far the best. So I'm kind of trying to make a decision, and I'm just like, you know what, I already got part of my bag. Let's go over here. Let's let him get the gold. But you can use this gate to get these 2 spots. So I'm looking at the what I call like the boss man, the guy with the skull. He can be a problem just because, you know, he's got like a big vision cone. He takes like a really long, you know, he scopes like pretty much everywhere. So always look over to your teammate when you're putting in the key card. I'm gonna let him get the gold and fill up his bag as much as possible. I know that you can't really take 2 stacks of gold. You can take like 1 full stack and like a half of another. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of the gold here. Get the gold, get the gold, get the gold. And then I got a little bit left, so I'm gonna go pile in what cash I can. And again, you want to go for the gold, but sometimes it's just not about getting caught. Like, it just saves you more time not getting caught. And again, if you really wanted to go super fast, just get the main item and dip. So when you dip, you're gonna go back out, you're gonna go up these stairs, and then you really can sprint all the way there and just sit around the D-pad. We like to get the alarm caught on us though, because if you don't get the alarm caught on you, it just takes a little bit longer to exit because you got to run a little bit further to get the second bike. But when you get the alarm on you, they'll kind of pull up with 2 bikes like immediately. And also when you get the alarm on you, something I noticed in the past couple of days is like you don't want to normally if we didn't get the alarm, I would be sprinting out all the way to the right. There's going to be a bike on the left, and then there's going to be a bike all the way on the right, kind of by this gate. But if you get the alarm, you don't have to sprint that much. You just actually kind of gotta chill, and you can let them come to you. So there's going to be 1 car that comes from the right side here. and you knock that out, and then there's going to be another bike that's coming here. I'm going to grab that bike. Meanwhile, there's a bike on the left that he's going to be able to get. And pay attention to this route also when you leave the island. This route's super important. I might have even crashed because we were going so fast, but this route's really important. Just go up to the left. You can even go a little more left than that. Look for this big tree in the middle and always go to the left of the big tree, and then you got a straight shot all the way through. I swear I might have even crashed here. I did. You just go to the left of that tree. That was just me messing up. I can't believe I messed that up too, but I almost, probably like 95% of the time I don't. And a little bit to the left, you kind of can see that like avenue where you're gonna go through, and then you really can go way. If I would have had the momentum, you go flying off the mountain, but it's important to go flying off the mountain right there and take this route because you don't have to swim very far at all. Excuse me. And then you just basically always look for this big rock, and if you really want to pay attention, you can actually see like the foliage of the sea that you can pass to have it good, but like no swimming. We don't like to do like a really long swim. It's a quick swim, you're out, that's it, and that's the whole run. So definitely some things that we can improve on in this run, no questions about it. We'll try to have an updated one out quicker, but this is like really how you do this, like really fast. To speed run Cayo Perico, and I think we did this one in like 49 minutes, something like that, so that's not too bad. But I'm gonna have a video coming out here. I'm about to record it right after this, showing you how to get the MK2, like showing you how to get 2 MK2s and be able to use it and kind of avoid the cooldown. So be sure to check out that video as well. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it helped out, and I'll talk to you in the next one. All right, peace.